Good evening. How are you all, guys? Can you hear me well? Hey. Nice to see this extended stuff again. Was kind of missing these lessons because they are always a bit messy and kind of challenging. How are you guys? Again, let us start with something positive. How are you? What's going on in your lives? Tell me something positive so that we can start the lesson with a positive note, because we will be having a lot of talking during the lesson. So Zolbinar, Mariam, and all the ladies and gentlemen, Albert, could you please log out again and then log in so that I can see your microphone icons, because we're going to have a lot of speaking and discussion and maybe a group work. I'm not quite sure about the latter, but I would love to hear from all of you. So now I'm waiting for something positive to tell me, for example, and I'm going to start myself. For me, the positive thing is that September is near. I've kind of missed my workplace. I've kind of missed my students. So I'm really very happy, and I'm really very hilarious that I will recommence the work again. So this is my positive thing, though I didn't have a rest this summer. But anyway, I'm looking forward to doing the job that I really like. What about you? Guys, ladies and gentlemen, what about you? Angin, for example, you tell me something positive. Oh, Bartoli, I understand you so well. I am the happiest person in the world every time I manage to have dinner, supper, lunch, or breakfast, especially when it is yummy. Again, preparing for the 1st of September. Yeah, but is it a happy event, Angin, or you're really struggling because you have to buy a lot of things and etc.? Okay, Narina, I can see your point, but I'm going to be a student again, and I'm still happy, Narina. You know, it's so exciting to be a student again and to have classes with kind of youngsters and teenagers who are like 18 or 20 or 21, and me together with them. I don't know how I'm going to behave myself, but that's so fascinating. Okay, guys. Yes, our course is ending. That's true, but let's hope something else is going to come up, and let's hope that we have all enjoyed this long process of working together. And I do hope, hello Mariam Jan, and I do hope that we have enjoyed the process. So yes, Narina is quite right. This is going to be the last week. We're going to have 2 live sessions and 2 webinars, and then we will have to say goodbye to each other, but still, Rajan, that's okay, but still, let's hope for the best, and let's hope that something good is going to come up, something good is awaiting somewhere behind the corner. Okay, Nora, tell me something positive. Hello, Narine. Nora, you're always so positive, making jokes, throwing jokes at us, so tell me positive things. You have many guests. Is that positive, or you're spending a lot of time with them? Busy, okay? Oh my God, you both have many guests. From abroad, ladies, or where from? Okay. Okay, Nora, congratulations. You have already finished. Good. Good. Okay, are you ladies having guests from abroad, or these are guests coming from different cities in Armenia? Or you're hosting people from abroad? Nora and Siddharthi mostly talking about you because you have indicated. From France. Okay, Barclay, did you manage to study a couple of words in French or no? Russia and Brazil. Oh my God, I can't believe you have guests from Brazil. Oh my God, I wish I could meet them too. 2 words, okay. From Moscow. Okay, guys. Nobody else who would like to have the floor in order to share something positive with us, guys? It's important to be positive, right? Waiting for more people to have the floor. There nobody, I believe. Okay, so again, guest from France, go on. Yes, Nora, thank you. I was waiting for that. You're always commenting on my smile, and I was waiting like, when she's going to comment on my smile. Thank you, Nora. Thank you. Okay, so many guests, so many positive things and emotions, I do believe. And the topic that we're going to be discussing today, thank you, Norajan. The topic that we're going to be discussing today is jobs. I'm more than sure we will have very many things to share with each other. That's why I've asked everybody to change this icon from this, to change your icons into microphone icons so that you can come online. Thank you, Nora. You're positive as always. So before we start the lesson, actually, I would like us to have a look at these jobs, and then I would be silent for a while. I want each one of you to pick up one job from the list that you can see. And then I'm going to call different people online, and you should tell me why you think the job that you have chosen should get the highest salary. You should be able to comment and to reason your choice. For example, if you think that lawyers should get the highest salary, you should bring at least 2 reasons. Now, Norajan, do not write anything. I will call you online and you will speak about that. So if you're choosing a lawyer, for example, you should provide 2 reasons of why you think lawyers should get the highest salary. Then, once you utter your reasons, once you tell us about your reasons, I will ask another person to come online and to debate with you. Okay? So I'm silent for 1 minute, pick up a profession, then I will tell you who's going to come online. Okay, since Nora was the first, could you please, Nora, come online?
Hello, dear Zauri.
Hello, Norajan. It is easier to just call me Zara because Zaru.
Hello, dear Zara.
Okay. Hello, Norajan. Yes.
Smile.
Thank you.
I think what in this list very important doctor's profession. One important profession as me, because doctor work is a very responsible work, and it's
yes, Norajan, go on.
And this work depends of people life, and and all of doctors must be very
attentive
because he works from people life. And now I think what in Armenia has many good doctors, and Armenian doctors work in other countries, because in Armenia doctors give not a high salary. How I inform. In Armenian Mars, doctor salary very lower, but in Yerevan a little high, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. CRP, what do you think about coming online? to whatever Noura said. Even if you agree with Noura, Sirapi, I would like to say things. I would like to state opinions as if you disagree with Noura, Sirapi. Would you mind coming online? Are you with us? Good.
Hello, everyone. I'm agree with Noura, but in really not so much, because I think it's more high money make bankers in Armenia, because here is money, they give money for people with a high percent.
Mm-hmm.
And doctors, I think, not so take high money. But important, of course, yes. I go ask Noura something by questions.
Okay, sure.
Noura, why you think that they are much high quality? Because sometimes the lawyers and bankers are, for me, it's more high quality in Armenia, and make money too much than doctors.
Noura, answer the question. Why do you think that doctors are of higher quality? Because we have lawyers who are of even higher quality than the doctors.
I think what in our Mars doctors has little money, and I know many doctors who in a month get 16,000 drams in month, and I think it's very little. Because in Armenia, all goods cost very more high, and in this salary, doctors can live in Armenia. In this reason, they go out from Armenia, and they work in, for example, Russia, America, and other countries. I think what in Armenia, high salary get only IT specialists.
But sorry, many years ago, I went one hospital about one project, and we start discussing about how much money they get, and for me it was a surprise, because all doctors said that they had enough money from there. I think it's come because which doctor is have high quality, they get good money, above $1,000.
Okay. Nourajan, just one question to remind you. It was the participant. The question here is, who do you think should get the high salary? Not who, but who do you think should get the high salary?
I see.
Okay, but anyway, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Well done. Sera, could you please come online? Grigorian Sera, I am interested who you think should get the high salary.
Hello, everyone. I think air traffic controllers must get the highest salary because they have a really important job. They not only control the air traffic, but also control traffic on the ground at the airport. And also their job is very important because they give some important information to the pilots. so they will know about weather, and also they give information about critical situations so they can escape disasters. So I think they must get the high salary.
Okay, thank you, Seda Can. Bartoli, what about you? Yes, Bartoli. No, please speak.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you?
I guess we're fine. And you?
I'm fine too. Thank you.
Good.
I'm glad to hear that. As for me, maybe my opinion will be a little bit different, but I have two options. If I were maybe prime minister or somebody else who is able to get a higher salary for one of these positions, I will get the highest salary to the postal workers.
Why?
And firefighters. Why I will try to explain why I just choose the postal worker. I have a friend of mine who is a postal worker, and every time when he's going to the apartments or to the houses and to get something to the people, it may be a magazine, journal, or something else, or newspaper. He's every time when he's see me, he says that he claims that his salary is too low and he is not able to cover all his elementary needs, and it is very difficult for him to keep up his family. And I believe him because he's a very fair person. I don't think that he's telling liar. And even so happened when he came to our place, we just give him some money, maybe not so much, 200 or 300 dirhams, just for making our thanks that he just came to our place and give us something. Maybe I'm not right, but I have faced such a problem, and I know that all postal workers have a very low salary, and sometimes they do additional work after their
after their permanent work.
Permanent work, yes, they just do additional work in order to be able to save some money for their future, for their lives. As for the firefighters, I know one of them. Their work is very, very important. It is very risky. Sometimes it is even they have some cases when it is they risk their own lives, but they have to do their work because their profession is to save people, and in some way maybe their houses, or to keep the fire not to throughout to the other houses. It is very dangerous and risky work, and they receive maybe 100 or 120,000 AMT. But I know that as for their work, it is too low. It should be, yes, it is should be high as much as it's possible.
Okay, thank you.
What exactly?
Vartijan, I don't know. Vartiter wrote, I couldn't catch the meaning. I am asking Vartiter what exactly?
Firefighters.
I don't know. She's gonna react now. Vartiter, you can come online. Come online and ask your question to Vartuli.
Hello, how are you?
We are perfect. And you?
Hi, Vartjan.
I'm fine too. Hi, Vartulijan. No, I asked not you, Vartulijan. I only wanted to ask Gayane. She has written something. I couldn't catch the meaning. What she has.
Yes, I have read it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you, ladies. Gayane, would you like to come online and to comment a bit on what you wrote? guys, you have been all talking about very important professions. What about farmers? I mean, if we're talking about our health, we are talking about doctors, okay? Yes, farmers. What about our health? I mean, when we are talking about agriculture, yes, Noura, when we are talking about agriculture, when we are talking about farmers, this is what is affecting our health, first of all, because if farmers produce crops, vegetables, and fruits which are genetically modified or which have pesticides and fertilizers which are not organic and etc., this is going to affect our health and very, very drastically. They should be the main suppliers of eco food, but we can never be sure whether the food is organic or no, because we don't know what pesticides and what fertilizers and what chemicals they are using. But don't you think that if we give them a decent amount of salary, maybe they wouldn't cheat on us, or they would stop cheating? What do you think? Yes, Noura, I will give you a floor, but I would like, I don't know, somebody else on voluntarily basis to comment on farmers. Is there a volunteer except Noura to come online and to talk a bit? Serpuhi, okay, yes, please come online.
Hi, Zara.
Hello. Please.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
I'm also
Okay.
fine. About farmers, I want to tell this thing that their work is, first of all, harming to their health. So, how much economic this healthy food they will produce, it is other side of the conversation. First of all, that is very heavy physical, very hard physical work. So if person is doing that to get some money, he will do everything to get some income, because some of them will work some 5, 6, 7 years and spend all their what they earned on their health. Sorry. And most of the cases, they will not be able to get back their health.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're quite right.
So they are trying to find out many methods to find out some easier way to get some income. Other thing is their education and how deep they have knowledge, what kind of methods can bring what consequences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Right.
with great respect to them, I think that they should get more money, because, for example, for me it's very difficult to do any gardening only because of my health. They are doing it, and not all people can do. First of all, they are healthy people from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So after losing their health, they will become like other population.
Okay. Thank you, Serpuijan. Thank you. So let me see what other people wrote. So Angin is talking about teachers, and she says that teachers should also get high salary. I do agree, especially when we are talking about school teachers, because even kindergarten, even people who work in kindergartens, because this all starts at a very early age, and everything should be organized decently, because later on this can have really devastating consequences on children's, I don't know, mental health, their education, their health in general. And yes, I agree also with Noura. I do agree that, no, who wrote Narine, yeah, that they use many pesticides and fertilizers, unfortunately. Though, do you think we can blame farmers for using fertilizers and pesticides? For those who don't know, the word pesticide is tuna chimicat. The word fertilizers chemical fertilizers, these are the substances that are used to enhance the growth of vegetables and fruits, etc. I think that parartatsnohnuted, which can be natural, yes, and which can be chemical. So natural fertilizers, I mean, if we compare chemical fertilizers with natural fertilizers, of course, chemical ones are more effective because they are chemical, but they are damaging our health. So what do you think about farmers? Ripsimejan, I will get back to what you wrote. What do you think about farmers who use chemical fertilizers and pesticides? Do you think we can blame them? Or you think that it's natural because they have invested so much money and energy and they want a good yield of harvest in order to be able to survive? What do you think? We will return back to what Ripsime says. They don't think about health, I agree, but do you think we can blame them? Because, for example, Barclay says that they can't survive any other way if they do not kind of use chemicals. How they can survive? Edgar thinks that it's blame, it's shameful, it's a blame. It's not an excuse, okay? What about the rest, guys? Be a bit more active. Do we need to kind of blame them? Or you think that anyway we can't? It is proven that we need GMOs. Yes, Ganejan, but GMOs, that depends on what gene you are altering. Sometimes, if this causes very serious mutations, this can affect our health. So if we're talking about GMOs, it really depends. We can't call all foods which are genetically modified to be safe for our health. This is the problem. Maybe we also need some investigation. I agree with you, because until now, nobody can really thoroughly prove that GMOs are harmful for our health. And maybe the government should revise the reward system. I agree. I agree with you, Ripsimejan. This is what I was telling, that there is no precise evidence of GMOs being very harmful for our health. Mariam thinks we shouldn't blame them. Okay, so you put the blame on the shoulders of the government. Okay, Piloyan, I do agree with you. We don't have enough information. Okay, I do agree with you, Sedam. Okay, but strong rain and torrential rains, hurricanes, though we don't have hurricanes, but torrential rains, floods, and etc. I do agree. But what about our own consciousness? What about our responsibility towards population in general, toward children who eat the food that we produce? I mean, do you think it's just, imagine like I'm a teacher, do you think it will be just to say, my salary is low, so I'm not going to teach you the way I should? Or for the doctor, oh, I'm not going to perform an operation on you because my salary is low, or I'm going to perform half of the operation so you survive the way you can. Do you think this is a justification to say that well, they cannot survive otherwise, so that's why they need to use pesticides? Do you really think it's a justification? Imagine each one of us, like we have different specialists here, imagine each one of us does the job partially just because we do not get enough salary. It's not professional, and first of all, it is not ethical. And first of all, you should be responsible for your actions. How come can you use so many pesticides that this becomes dangerous for people? Okay. They need to live too, I agree, Nora, but not on the expense of others' lives. Not endangering others' lives. Nobody has the right to put other person's life at stake. I mean, this is awful. This is awful, and this is why we have so many disasters and so many bad things in our world, because we always have professionals, specialists who do not care about the rest. Okay, I agree with you, Mariam, but do you think your health, my health, the health of our children should be put at stake just because the farmers don't have any other income? In the meanwhile, they have the choice to sell, for example, not 200 tons of, I don't know, garbage or garlic or whatever, but to sell 100 tons. Of course, they will not be as rich as if they sold 200 tons, but still they will not harm anybody. This is what I'm saying. So why to endanger my life and the life of other 100 people who are going to buy that product to be able to survive? It's not just, because I am not to blame for that. Don't you think like that? Okay, they are tired, and I agree. Who was saying, and I agree with, I guess Sepui was saying that, or who was saying that? I agree, it is a very hard work. Very, very hard. I agree with you. Okay, I am posting what we needed to discuss. This one, it's not my idea. I think all the works have their unique difficulties, but I'm pretty sure that being a doctor is the hardest work in the world. Trust me, I have an experience. At first, you should study at least 10 years, and it costs a lot. Secondly, 24/7, you work, and etc. Do you agree with the statement, guys? Yes, Nora. Yeah, I agree. I agree that being a doctor requires enormous amount of patience, enormous amount of nerves. I do agree that it's really very difficult. I do agree. What about you guys? Do you really think that it is the most difficult and the most, I believe also we can call it the most costly profession? Because I do agree, you study for 10 years, it costs an enormous amount of money, and then you work for another 10 years at very junior, posts until you have a chance to get a promotion and to earn a decent living. So 2 or 3 people think that yes. What about the rest? Okay, Naira. And it's also stressful, right? Can you imagine you're performing an operation and then suddenly the patient dies because of your fault, or you're not to blame? That's not really important. I can't really understand how people get used to that. All professions are difficult, I agree. I agree, all professions are stressful. Yes, because you work with people's lives. Since we have started talking about doctors, ladies and gentlemen, I believe only one, Albert only, and it's also responsible, right? Once we discussed that, I don't quite remember whether it was during the live session or it was during the webinar. Pardon me if it was during the webinar, but still. Replace God, okay. How do we say Vira Hataran in English? Who remembers? Operating theater. Serpui, thank you. Operating room. Narine, thank you. No, I guess it was during the webinar. Sorry, guys. So we call it operating theater. Narine wrote it down. It's so beautiful, but I will tell you why. An operating theater. Everybody knows theater, right? Teatron. We call it, not we, mostly in English, they call it an operating theater. Can you guess why? Why is it called a theater? Because doctors are actors. Oh my God, no. No, come on, God forbid, touch the wood. They are not actors. Exactly, Gohar, thank you. Because when you need to say Virahatutunanel, one of the options is to say to perform an operation. And what is the meaning of the word perform? Perform, performance. We can, the performance are acted in theaters, nergayatsum. That's why, just because we say to perform an operation, Virahataran is called an operating theater, because doctors perform operations in operating theaters. And I haven't checked it. Maybe this can be an assignment for the webinar. Yes, you're right, Ripsiman. doctor's performance, yes, but maybe you can check it for the webinar. I think that the word operating theater is, I guess it comes from ancient Greece, because when doctors were working, were dissecting heads and bodies, or were performing operations or cutting something, they would usually do that in public, and the pupils, the disciples, would gather around and would have a look. I think, but I'm not quite sure, you need to check that and to tell us and the other tutors whether I'm right or no. Just check the etymology of the word operating theater. I guess it should be something similar. Okay, and the very last question, and we're going to move on to other slides, guys. What do you think about fashion models? I guess from this list, fashion models, especially if we talk about Victoria's Secret and stuff like that, I think they are the ones, and also professional footballers, I think, they are the ones who get an enormous amount of money, right? Football players, when we are talking about professionals, and fashion models. Do you think it is just or no? Waiting for your comments. Not at all. It is real. Yes, it is reality, but do you think it is just, or you think that it is not at all justified? No, I don't know. I also think like that non-agent footballers are paid higher than fashion models. Okay. Other options. I mean, who thinks that it's justified? Because for becoming a footballer, one needs to start training as early as possible. Some people even start playing football once they are 3 or 4, and it requires many years of training. Why do you think that it's not justified? Okay, Siddharthi, I liked your point. It is so difficult to keep your body the way it should be, to maintain your beauty. Exactly, Sarah, you're quite right. Okay, so 2 people think that it is justified. Okay. They train all day long, right you are. You're quite right. Yeah. Yeah, twin one. Is he a model, or he just plays in his stars in certain advertisement of Pepsi or stuff like that? He used to be a model of underwear, I think, Noura, but I don't know. I don't really know whether he is a fashion model now. But anyway, he's one of the most, I guess, popular and the richest people in the world, I believe. Okay, no other comments on this? Yes, I agree with you, Angin John. Yes, I agree. Especially dieting, this is unbelievable. Yes, I mean, I saw his teeth before operation. I think this is what I saw from Cristiano. No, I have seen only just his teeth. Did he undergo many operations? I don't know. I haven't been very attentive. And also, Angin, thank you. I liked your point. Professional footballers and fashion models are also very important because they inspire people. They inspire people to do bad things, but they also inspire people to do good things, because all the models and all the footballers who are doing charity, who are taking care of their health, who are eating healthy food, who are not using drugs, who are not using alcohol, and etc., they do act as role models for very many young people. And I also think, Angin, that it's really very important, because the youngsters, especially the youngsters of nowadays, really need positive role models because of so many bad things that are happening in the world. We really need very bright, positively charged, people who would inspire others. Okay, guys, we have had plenty of chatting. I guess we're going to skip this one because we talked about this. We didn't. Well, actually, we talked which jobs have the highest and the lowest salaries in your country. We agreed that teachers, I guess, and no, post, also people working in post. So I'm going to skip this. Okay, another question that is going to be posed to you is, which of the following would you like or not like in a job? Imagine you are hired. Those who are hired already, those who work, you just pick up from these 12 ones. You can just write the number. And then I guess I'm going to call a couple of people online to comment on their choice. So a lot of telephone work, writing lots of reports, working with the same people all the time, working with a lot of different people, working on your own, working flexible hours, including weekend, using English at work, sharing an office, casual dress, a lot of targets and deadlines, traveling to other countries, and a uniform. Just let us start with pluses. Which one would you like? Just put a number that you would really like to have. Okay, Bartwi. Nora would like 4 and 7. Goharjan, but I guess something's wrong with your computer, because I guess everybody else. People, can you see the slide? Or you're having problems with the slide as well? Second one as well, 10, 11, 7 using English at work. So Goharjan, the problem is with your computer. Please refresh the page because the rest can't see the slides. Okay, in that case, I would like Mariam. I lost you, Mariam. Mariam Markarian, please come online and comment on your choice. 3, 5, 6, 11, not in there, okay.
Hello.
Which one would you like in your job, Mariam-jan?
Do you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Okay, I have chosen the 7th and the 11th one, using English at work and traveling to other countries. I would like to use English at my work because I like English. It's my favorite language after Armenian. So I would like to use it and to improve in it. And when traveling to other countries, I adore traveling, and it would be very interesting to use English while traveling to other countries, and also knowing different people and working with a lot of different people.
Okay. Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Jam. 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11. Come on. Okay. I wanted to ask Naira Nahapetian to come online and to tell us one thing that you wouldn't like or that you don't like in your job. Naira? Nahapetian, can you hear me? Naira? Naira? Albert, what about you? Can you please tell us something, or maybe you did, but I skipped your answer. What is that you don't like about your job? In the meanwhile, Ripsime, please come online and tell me what you dislike about your job.
I think the most disliked point is sharing an office.
Because
we have 4 residents, we have 1 room, and there are 50 residents, and it's awful. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you don't like sharing kind of your premises?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and what is one thing that you like, Ripsimejan? No, Naira, we couldn't hear you. Yes, please, Ripsimejan.
I think I like our uniforms.
Uniforms?
Yes, I really like our medical uniform.
Oh, medical, right. Which color is that? Is it white or different color?
Blue ones, the operating uniforms.
Okay, blue one. Light blue or dark?
Dark blue.
Dark blue. Okay. Okay, thank you. What about uniform, guys? Nobody mentioned 12, I believe. No, I didn't have any 12. Albert, I'm still waiting for your comment. Nobody mentioned 12. What about wearing a uniform, ladies and gentlemen? Would you like to wear a uniform? Narina would like to. Sarah 9, that's the uniform. Okay. I mean, to me, uniform sounds quite a nice idea. Yeah, some people have to. I would like to wear a uniform at my university because that's so disgusting to wake up every day in the morning and to think what to wear. But when you have a uniform, you just go there and kind of put your uniform. Uniform is beautiful. Okay. What about the rest? Why not have a uniform? Though I discussed this during the webinar with my group, but okay, Siddhartha, I got your point. What would you imagine? Can you imagine teachers, for example, or university tutors wearing a uniform? Okay, John, got your point. Like imagine you go to the university and you have your teachers all dressed in green, for example. Yeah, I also think that would have been very funny. Why not, Noura? Everybody would be alike. Like green, I don't know, green hat, green skirt, or green trousers, and green something, green t-shirt. Boring. Chinaivi, Noura? Why not? Everybody would be equal. Only a jacket. Gray or blue, okay? Okay. Every teacher is unique, okay. Okay, got your points, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still waiting for Albert to post his answer to the question, but I guess I will have to wait long. Albert John, can you hear me? Are you here or you're having problems with the internet connection? Albert? Priom, Albert. Okay. Okay. So another very, very important dilemma. In China, the boy doesn't betray his girlfriend. He confesses. Okay. Okay, Ganajan, yeah. So a very important dilemma nowadays, and it has always been like that, a higher salary versus job satisfaction. Are you ready? No, both. You can't say both, Siddhartha. It's impossible. No, let us forget about that. This is utopia. It's no, it's possible. I am one of the lucky ones. I mean, I have quite a good salary and I have job satisfaction. It is possible. But let us imagine we don't have this option and we need to choose. Will you be able to sacrifice job satisfaction in order to have a job with quite a high salary? Or for you, job satisfaction is all that matters and you only care and you only need job satisfaction? Come on, Ripsy man. Okay, Narine prefers satisfaction. Satisfaction. Come on, I can't believe I'm reading that. Okay. At first, job satisfaction, then higher salary. I agree. Ripsime, you can't choose both. You have to choose one. Job satisfaction. Guys, can you be satisfied with your job if you need to kind of take care of your family, even if it is a nuclear family or extended family, doesn't really matter. Yes, Sarah, you're going to come online in a second. But you are getting 60,000 AMD or less. How, if your expenses are 750,000 and you are getting only 60,000, how come are you going to be satisfied with your job? Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, I agree. You work for 15 years just because kind of you're satisfied. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got your point. Okay, I asked you once, I want to repeat my question. What do I mean when I say to play devil's advocate? Okay. Okay, Naira. Take a trip? Take a trip? No. Misguide us, exactly. Mislead, misguide. Okay, a trick. When I say not really hukwe tagal, but when I say I'm playing the devil's advocate, that means I also think that satisfaction is very important, the most important, but I'm trying to convince you that no, it is not important. I'm trying to kind of make you speak out, but I'm really in favor of job satisfaction. I do agree with all of you guys that if you do not like the job that you do, it doesn't really matter how high your salary is, you're going to quit the job. I do agree. Sarah wanted to come online. Please, Sarah, just 1 minute to listen to whatever you're going to tell us.
I only wanted to tell you that, in my opinion, job satisfaction is directly proportional to higher salary. So the better you do the job and the more you like it, the higher the chances are that you will get a higher salary.
Okay.
And also, if you do your job very well, there are many chances that you will get promotions in your job and you can get higher positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, thank you. So at the beginning, you must be slave in the job, and then you will succeed. Anginjan, frankly speaking, I have always been a slave, and I'm still a slave, because if you like the job that you do, you are always the slave of your own job. So it's never, you will never arrive at being a patron. You will always be a slave because you like your job. Well, but it was about devils. What expression? No, John, I don't really know. I don't really know which one you're talking about. Millions. Okay. Yes, Sarpuijan, right you are. This is a kind of a way to try to find out whether the person is changing or not. To tease a person. To tease a person or to tantalize a person. Teasing, when you're like teasing, you're showing a candy, you know the person is on diet and you're showing a candy. Would you like a candy? Would you like a candy? But you know the person is on diet. This is like to tantalize or to tease. With devil, I don't know. This was to play the devil's advocate. Spelling, to play, yeah, that was it. Tease, to tease someone, and to tantalize. But let me check the word tantalize, guys. I'm not quite sure about the spelling. Sorry, tantalize. Yeah, it was spelled like that. To tease or to tantalize, and also to play the devil's advocate. This is what I used. Okay. Okay, guys, moving on. Let me make it a bit bigger. I'm going to be silent for a minute. Noura, please do not write anything in the chat box. I'm silent for a minute. Then I will tell you when to write it in the chat box. Go ahead. You need to insert these words into here. You know what to do. Okay, Slovina, I'm going to start with you. So what do you have with number 2? A new branch in Amsterdam. You should find a word that is the synonym of the word to start. Slovina, which words do you have for number 2? Slovina, can you hear me? Boyan, what about you, Naira? Okay. Thank you. Well, I was asking Tobinar and I wanted to ask Boyan, but anyway. Well, actually, you don't have the word to launch, but yes, Nora, you're right. So the correct option is to set up a new branch in Amsterdam. So the word set up is the synonym to the word start. Boyan, Naira, what do you have for number 3? Train, right, to train new stuff. Good. Karine, what about you, Mapido-san? What do you have for number 4? Make more sales in all markets. To improve sales in our markets, or increase sales in our market. So both options kind of mean to augment. But which one should be in number 4 and which one should be in number 6? To improve communication or to increase communication between our head office and local branches? I'm talking about 6. So yes, you're quite right. In number 6, we should have improved communication, which means that in number 4, we should have to increase sales in all markets. And this is a kind of a fixed expression, guys, to increase sales. To increase sales. And I'm going to ask also 5 develop. Thank you, Naira. Okay. Okay, Naira, so 5 is developed. And number 7, what do you have for number 7? Just jump in. The strict deadlines and work well under pressure. And the synonym to the word manage. To cope with, right? What expressions do you know with this phrasal verb to cope with? To cope with deadlines, okay. To cope with pressure, okay. What else? One of the most widely used expressions, words with the word to cope with. Exactly, Repsime, thank you. To cope with stress, to manage stress. Okay, and we move on. The same, something like the same, but I'm not going to give you time. So for number 1, a large department in the clothing industry, synonym for the word to control. To manage. Right, no, to deal with? No, I wouldn't say to deal with. To manage. To deal with, Ghana, you're going to see that you need the word to deal with somewhere else. To manage, which is the synonym for the word to control. Second, yes, Ganajan, you're quite right. Second, think about the future, and you're quite right, to plan budgets. Okay, how are you going to say, I asked you once, sorry for repeating it, how are you going to say կարճաժամկետ, միջնաժամկետ, երկարաժամկետ պլանավորում? Կարճաժամկետ, how are you going to say? No, 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 no. Short term, yes, Ripsime, and yes, Gayane. Short term planning, կարճաժամկետ. What about միջնաժամկետ? No. Mid-term, not middle. Mid-term planning. What about երկարաժամկետ? Long-term, hyphen, do not forget about hyphen in the middle. Long, hyphen, gățic term. Short, hyphen, gățic term. Mid, hyphen, gățic term. Good. Okay, so we have short-term planning, mid-term planning, and long-term planning. Okay, another thing I'm going to ask you, how do we say բյուջեից հատկացումներ անել? How do you say հատկացնել from the budget? Because you can use only this verb with the noun budget. You can say to give money from the budget, but it is not very attribute. Sometimes they use it, but this is not the correct. This is not the correct verb, Garnajan. No, not attribute. It's with a. To invest, allocate, Nora. Albert, invest, no, allocate. To allocate money from the budget or budgetary allocations. Grant is also possible, but with budget, you use allocate. To allocate money from the budget, or we say budgetary allocations. Budgetային հատկացումներ. Good, ladies. Number 4. What do you have for number 4? Customers, suppliers, and their problems to take action. I skipped, sorry, I skipped third one. Yeah, sorry. To organize sales conferences. Okay. And number 4, to deal. Okay, number 4, to deal or to deal with? To deal with, right. Customers, suppliers, and their problems. Good. What about number 5? Motivate employees, sales team to get the best results. Aim. Aim. What is aim, Nora? Where do you see the word aim? I didn't get it, Nurajan. You are asking what aim is? Yeah, aim is the batak, goal, objective. Oh, okay. So again, the first one was to manage, the second one was to plan, third one was to organize, fourth was to deal with, and 5 was to motivate. Good. Yes, and we move on. Now, each one of you, though we do not have enough number of words, but each one of you are going to pick up a word in your minds. You're going to think of the ways to explain the word to your peers. Then you yourself, you're going to nominate another person to whom you should explain the word. I'm going to be the first one to exemplify how this should be done. I'm going to nominate Mariam Markarian. Mariam, so I'm going to explain one of these words to you, and you should guess the word. Please come online.
Okay.
So, and you should try to explain it in a difficult way, guys, so that it's not very easy to guess. So, all people work. I mean, the people who work, they usually get certain remuneration at the end of the month. The remuneration that is stated in their document, in their contract, is different from what they get in reality. How do we call this amount of money that people get in reality when all taxes are taken out from the salary?
It's called net income.
Yes, but okay. You can write it. Well, actually, yeah, you can write it in the chat box, but this is not VAT because, yes, Mariam, you're right. It is called net income, zut yekamut, when all the taxes have already been taken out from your salary and you have only the sum of money that is left after 26.4% of taxes that we are paying. No, Nora, it's not income, it's net. I was talking about these words, zut yekamut, net income or net salary.
Gross domestic product, I guess.
Yes, gross domestic product, but Vartuhi, somebody is going to explain it to you. I'm not going to tell you now. Okay, Mariam, now it's your turn to explain the word to somebody. You nominate another person.
Can I have some time to choose the word?
No, you don't have time.
Okay.
So net is out. Zut yekamut, mahur is out.
I choose Nura.
Okay. So?
Are you here, Nura?
She's always here. Go ahead.
Okay. When you try to tell people that they are doing something well, or you try to motivate them to do something, you say that you are doing everything right, well done, or something else. What do you do?
Encourage. Yeah. Thank you, ladies. Nora, it's your turn to come online and to nominate another person who's going to guess the word. Nora. Baze Artsivin. Nora, are you here? Bye, Nora.
I'm here.
Okay, so pick up the word and nominate a person.
I choose one people. Yes, now.
Yes.
Gayane Boskanyan.
So Nora, explain the word to Gayane Boskanyan.
Yes, Guy, when company work very well and where the profit is very high, how we can say in this when a company's profit is very high. In other way, how we can say this?
Increase?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Gayane, now your turn to come online. We're done with the verb increase. Thank you, Nora. Gayane, come online. Pick up a person. When we make it higher. Yes, you're right, madam. Gayane, you can't come online. Okay. Gayane, you log out and then log in again. Go hard, please. Gayane, you're going to be the next one. Go hard. Can you hear me? Mofsisyan. He's not here. Okay, Gayane, your turn. Who are you asking?
I'm asking. Wait a minute, please. Naira Nahapeja.
Okay.
When Naira Jan, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. When selling a product, seller adds some money to the price of the product.
She said already.
Okay. Yes, creative.
Value added tax. Naira, yes. Thank you. Coming online. Naira. Naira. Hello. We can hear you. Talk, Naira.
Do you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
please
okay.
Nominate a person.
Okay, I will nominate maybe Naira Evoyan.
Okay.
When a person help anyone to do anything, for example, if you have a new worker, old worker help him, what is he doing?
And Gohar is helping you, I believe. She's writing something.
Maybe in
talking about one of the. Okay. Okay. Evoyan, any idea? Encouraging others, helping others.
Okay, Naira Jan.
You were talking about this one? Oh, okay.
But was my explanation good or not?
Well, actually, yes, but it could also be motivate. I thought you were talking about the verb motivate, but yes.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, John, I got your point. Naira, what about your explanation? You can't come online, but can you please? Oh, you can? Okay, you're online. Yes, please.
Place where you can find an CEO and HR manager and PR manager and all the back office workers.
Who are you asking? Who? Tripsime Bogosyan. So can you repeat that again? People cannot hear you, and Tripsime is going to answer. Okay, Tripsime already answered. Head corridor. Okay. Okay, Ripsine Can, come online.
I will ask Angin.
Okay. Wait a second. Headquarters, Gwarjan, for example, if we're talking about Apple, it has offices in different parts of the world, I guess, should have. But there is only one headquarters, that is to say the main office, the very main office, Gulhamas. So headquarters is the Gulhamas, and then you have certain other offices scattered all over the world. Okay? Were you asking about headquarters? Good. Yes, please.
So when you got a job, you are tricked with some amount of money, which you don't get. Actually, you get less money from it. So it calls salary. What salary?
Okay. Angin. You go on explaining. No, you go on explaining until she guesses.
It's the antonym of net.
Mm-hmm.
So there is net income and gross income.
You already said that. So the word was gross income, meaning that all the taxes are included into this. Guys, I have a question. Okay. I have a question. Do we all understand what is the meaning of the word gross income and net, or gross salary and net salary? Do we all understand? Are we all clear with that? Or you need certain explanation? Of course. Okay. Now it is clear. Okay, Angin, please come online and your word. Wait. Actually, gross domestic product or gross national product. This is something. But when I say net salary and gross salary, in this context, in the context when we are talking about, thank you, Sudan, when we are talking about salary, this means kehtot. That is to say, when the taxes, the income tax that you pay and some other social taxes and etc. are included into your salary. For example, if in your contract it is written that your salary is 100,000, it is your gross salary. Because when they take the taxes out, you get something like 80 or some 82, I don't know, 80 something thousand. This is your net salary. So gross salary is with taxes. This is what is written in your, but de facto you get less money. This is your net salary. But you are right, Anginjan, when we're talking about GDP or GNP, here the word gross means hamahar. But in salary it is kehtot yekamut, meaning that the taxes are not taken out. Okay? Good. So Angin, was it your turn to come online? Yes, 5% pension, 24 for 30% income tax, plus net equals gross, yes. Please, Angin, your turn. Asking Albert, please. Nominate Albert. Angin, we can't hear you. Come online. I'm going to unmute you. Angin?
Good evening.
Okay.
All of us take responsibility on our shoulder for our doings, or for everyone or everything that we have.
Okay. Yes, Albert, you're quite right. To be in charge of. Thank you. Albert, your explanation? Yes, you're quite right. To be in charge of, to take the responsibility of something, to be in charge of something. Albert, your turn. Please pick up the words that are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess, yes, to be responsible for something. Yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna do the rest in order to manage at least to do the grammar, because we have 10 more slides and 15 minutes left. To start, okay, to be responsible for company, the head. Okay, Albert, thank you. Who's gonna answer? The person who is the head of the company, who is responsible for the company. Thank you, Albert. Who's that person? CEO, right? Chief Executive Officer. Good. To start something, to launch something. To set up, right? Good. To give wings to a person, to say, you can do that, I believe in you. Right. To motivate. Good. When we have Ronaldo doing the advertisement for Pepsi, right? Endorsement. When we have Pedro, we had Pedro's, now he's not doing that, and he had the Seuss's, yes, placement. Or when we have James Bond, who's wearing Rolex, this is again placement. And GDP. Who can explain GDP? Do we have economists here? What is it? Hannah, what is GDP, guys? Economists. Mariam, what is it? Something from the field of economics. That's definitely it. Yes, Hannah. Yes, you're quite right. Who can explain what is GDP? Mariam, you can explain. Where are you, Mariam? In economic terms, because theoretically we can also, in Armenian. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yes, if I do not, I mean, I can't, even if I try. This is, thank you.
I can try to explain.
Okay, yes, Ganajan, please.
Gross domestic product is the total amount of production of the country in weighted average price.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you, Ganajan. John, yes. Okay, guys, and we move on to a more serious stuff. I mean, not very serious because I'm sure you know this. Those who don't, we're going to cover it really very quickly. So we're going to take present perfect today. How do we form present perfect? Who remembers what is present perfect? Or better say, how do we form it? Have plus verb 3, ներկա բաղակատար in Armenian, have plus participle 2, thank you, have has plus participle 2, thank you. And if we translate it into Armenian, this is ներկա բաղակատար. What do you remember or what do you know about present perfect? Before I move on, I just want to understand what you know from your previous experience. For example, when do we use present perfect? With what adverbs maybe we use present perfect? Just tell me randomly whatever you remember. Okay. Oh. Before you start, attention. Never translate it into Armenian. Never. It's not going to help you at all because in Armenian, I'm not going to go into the details, but do not translate it this way. This is going to kind of disturb you a lot. When the action is completed, but the result is very fresh. Okay, action has happened, but we are still talking about it. It has started, but it continues until now and maybe in the future. Well, yes and no. Started and did not finish yet. Okay. There was one explanation. When the action is completed, but the result is fresh, or we can see the result. Can you bring an example? Life experience. Thank you. Or, yeah, okay, let us go in turns. Nanajan, remember what you posted, I will re-ask you. So when you're saying, when we have an action that was completed in the past, but we still have the result, can you bring an example with that? I need an example. I have burnt my finger. I have done my homework. When we say I have burnt my finger, it means that it's still obvious. I mean, I have a scar or I have a bandage and etc. I've learned new words today and the result is evident. You will be able to use them. I've done my homework and the result is that the homework is here. Good. Narine, when we speak about action which has just finished, can you bring an example with us? An action that has just finished. I have done the work. Actually, all the examples that you have brought, I have burned my finger, I have done my homework, I have learned a lot of words. This, if you add the word just, something that Angin did, it will already be an action that you have just finished. I've just done a very interesting exercise. Good. Okay. Seda, I like your point, but here, actually, if I try to formulate it, I have written, Nana, you're right, but I have written. If I try to reformulate whatever Seda stated, I can say, if you are mentioning something that you did twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, you are using present perfect. For example, I have watched that movie 5 times. I have been to the US 0 times, but I have been to the US 20 times. Yeah, remember, we will talk about that. Or I have read this book 1 million times. So whenever you have a number plus times, usually you use present perfect. I have seen him just twice, and etc. Also, Serpuhi and Narine have written 2 sentences, one of which contains the adverb already, and the other one contains the adverb yet. Usually, with adverbs already and yet, we tend to use present perfect. I have already visited that country, or I haven't visited that country yet. So funny, Naina, yeah, well done. And Angin added some other adverbs when you have for example, I haven't seen him for 10 years. Or when you have since, I have done this since, or I have been doing this, though this is present perfect continuous. I haven't seen him since I graduated the university, and etc. So there are certain adverbs with which we usually use perfect, but not necessarily present perfect. It can happen that we need to use past perfect too. That's why when you see this already, yet, for, since, and very many adverbs, this morning, this evening, this year, thank you, Nora, ever, never, it doesn't mean that you should use only present perfect, because it can be that you need to use present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. That's why forget about this dogmatic stuff. Like at school, we are taught, I mean, I was taught in a very dogmatic way. I was told when you see ever, never, it's present perfect. And no, it is perfect, but not necessarily present perfect. It can be past perfect continuous, and etc. But you are all quite right. So for today, we're going to take only small part of present perfect. We are not going to go very deep into the details, though you know everything much better than it is written here. For Armenian learners, I agree, Nainajan, it's quite difficult to learn and to understand where to use present perfect. I agree with you. So we have only 2 things here. We use present perfect to talk about situations that began in the past and continue in the present. I have worked for IBM for 5 years. I've lived in Barcelona for 2 years. Which means I moved to Barcelona 2 years ago, and I have been living, this is present perfect continuous, forget it for a moment, I have been living in Barcelona and I still live right now. So if we are talking about an action that started even 20 years ago, but it's still a reality, we are using present perfect. Okay. And the second one, we often use the present perfect to talk about life experiences. I have had 3 jobs since I left the university. This is my life experience. This is what I do in life. Okay? I mean, only 2 things, but you yourself have enumerated 1 million other things. So well done. But for today, just remember these 2 things. Life experience plus something that started years ago and is still a reality. Questions here, ladies? No questions. Good. If no questions, oops, I skipped the part too quickly. This is what you're going to have for one of your webinars. You're going to have a home assignment, actually. For the interactive webinar, you should prepare an interesting talk about one of the below given topics using present perfect. You should either talk about your recent professional experience, your life experience, or an interesting adventure you have had this week, this year, this month, because when you have this plus day, not day actually, week, month, year, you usually use present perfect. Or you can choose any other topic, but the sense is to use present perfect. You prepare it at home, then your teachers are going to call you online, and you will have to talk about this. Not more than maximum 2 minutes. It shouldn't be a very long story, but the keyword here is interesting. It should be a very interesting talk, something that is going to kind of be interesting for everybody. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? If that's okay, then this is the end of our lesson. Thank you a lot. I really adored this lesson more than any other lesson because you were very active. Thank you for being so active and thank you for making my day. I was really, I am really amazed. I can say that I've never seen this active. Thank you guys. And do not forget that we have another live session on Thursday, 7 o'clock. And it is going to be the last live session. So be here. Be active. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. It was really great. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all these compliments. I adore this part. Thank you, guys. For objection killed words? No, I didn't know. Thank you, Banajan. Thank you. Bye-bye. Smiling for you, Nura, special for you. Bye-bye, guys.